I love jank. Finding some strange off-the-wall card and then building around it is one of my favorite things to do. So naturally, when I first laid eyes on this magnificent card from Tempest, I simply had to try to build an EDH deck for it. Let me introduce y'all to one of the funniest cards in Magic, Booby Trap. Now, Booby Trap is a 6-mana artifact whose oracle text reads, as Booby Trap enters, choose an opponent and a card name other than a basic land card name. The chosen player reveals each card they draw. When the chosen player draws a card with the chosen name, sacrifice Booby Trap. If you do, Booby Trap deals 10 damage to that player. So, straight off the bat, this is a card that certainly requires a build around. At worst, you name a card you hope is in your opponent's deck, wait the whole game for your opponent to draw it, and maybe you get 10 damage. But, like all jank, the sky is certainly the limit for Booby Trap. First order of business. We're playing Commander, so we need someone to helm this deck. I picked Sharuum the Hegemon, a 5/5 flying Esper Sphinx who not only presents as a good blocker, but whose enter the battlefield trigger is super necessary if we're wanting to recur the Booby Trap to bink our opponents over and over again. The Esper colors are also incredibly helpful for our janky game plan, with access to tutors, blink effects, and a bunch of ways to look at the top card of our opponent's libraries. As with all jank game plans, there are a lot of hoops to jump through before we can go wild. For one thing, since Booby Trap is just one card in a 99 singleton card deck, we have to have a lot of ways to go find it. Cards like Demonic Tutor, Enlightened Tutor, and Fabricate all serve the purpose of finding our secret commander. And since Sharuum lets us recur cards from our graveyard, we have Entomb and Auric Lore Mage to put the Booby Trap in the bin. Also, side note, why don't more people run Auric Lore Mage? A repeatable Entomb effect on a stick seems like just a shoe-in for most graveyard decks, but anyways. The second hurdle is, of course, guaranteeing that activation. To make sure we know what our opponents are going to draw next, I took a page from a deck that put Modern in a headlock for quite a while, Lantern Control. Lantern of Insight is an interesting card that makes everyone play with the top card of their library revealed. So, we play Lantern, look at the top of everybody's decks, pick somebody that doesn't have a basic land on top, and then drop the Booby Trap on the table. Then, on their draw step, 10 direct damage to face. We have several other instances of the same effect, like Wizened Snitches, and Trinket Mage is essentially another copy of the Lantern. We also have similar effects that look at just the top of a target opponent's library, like Xanathar, Guild Kingpin, who has the added benefit of Petty Theft, Psychic Surgery, which is a card that allows us to peek at our opponent's library whenever they shuffle it, Saheeli's Silverwing, which has the ability on ETB, and Wand of Denial, with which we can also get rid of pesky artifact removal on the top. Lantern mainstays Ghoul Caller's Bell and Codex Shredder are in there for the same reason. The last hurdle is getting that Booby Trap back on the field when it sacrifices itself. Again, Sharuum is perfect for this because her ETB lets us yoink the trap back out of the yard, and to help this along, we have a blink package to activate her ETB over and over again. Conjurer's Closet, Thassa Deep Dwelling, Teleportation Circle, and Soul Herder all do this on end step, while Nephalia Smuggler, Eldrazi Displacer, Mist Meadow Witch, and Deadeye Navigator all have it as an activated ability and can therefore blink Sharuum at instant speed. There's also Displacer Kitten and Kaikar Zephyr Awakener from the new Foundation set to blink whenever we play any of our 41 non-creature spells. To get even more Booby Traps on the field, we have several ways to copy it. There's Mirror Maid, Sculpting Steel, and Phyrexian Metamorph, which can all enter as copies of Booby Trap. Echo Storm and Season of Weaving create token copies of it, and so does Mechanized Production, which has the added benefit of being an additional wincon in the deck. We of course have to have our meat and potatoes, Our ramp package is super simple and artifact based. The removal suite consists of an uncounterable board wipe with Supreme Verdict, a couple of standard rebuttals in Counterspell and Dovin's Veto, and some much more spicy additions with cards like Memory Lapse, Hinder, Demir Charm, and Lapse of Certainty, which all put the countered spells back on top of our opponent's libraries, setting up for another Booby Trap activation. The last couple cards I'll talk about are there to basically speed up our game plan. The original Sorin Markov and Magister Sphinx are the only two cards in MTG history that take our opponents to exactly 10 life, which means they are only one activation of Booby Trap away from being boomed out of the game. Magister Sphinx is also, wonderfully enough, an artifact creature, so we can both blink it and also recur it with Sharuum. Booby Trap is strange, funny, and incredibly janky, and I love playing this deck. If you want to play it, there's a Moxfield link in the description. Thank y'all for watching so much, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.